Hello, everybody. I'm Chris. I will be your dungeon master for tonight. We'll be doing episode 3 of my campaign, which we're calling "Welcome to the Weirdness." And you boys, introduce yourselves.
Hey, I am Dakota Orshiro. I am playing Velwyn, a human sorcerer. Thumbs up. I'm cold.
Yeah, and I'm playing Lenny, a goblin rogue, a little bit Brooklyn, a little bit Jersey, a lot of it Stinky Feet.
That's the
All
only thing I
right.
know about him. I'm gonna be honest.
That's it.
I'm going to do a recap now. If I could have my shared screen here.
Oh yeah, let me get that. My bad. My bad.
There we go. Okay. So last we left off, I'm going to do the full recap. We had Velwyn, who's the mysteriously frigid human, and Lenny, the goblin with very nice teeth but stinky feet. They crossed the ocean to the continent of Sildaria, each for their own reasons. It was a 2 month voyage, and the two of you roomed with and made friends with Celine, who's a beautiful young woman with white hair and albino python snakeskin instead of flesh, and Divok, a laid back humanoid palm tree who carries around a big old sledgehammer. You also met the ship's Tempest cleric, Leaf, uh, very young, maybe 18, maybe he's fudging that, maybe he might be only 17. Dark skinned kid with scruffy black hair and short of a scruffy teenager beard. And I just so happen to have here we have Lenny and Velwyn. And here's Celine. And then I didn't have time to draw Divok or Leaf, but it's the general gist of them.
Beautiful.
Uh, so you helped defend the ship from an attack of a weird seaweed kraken with lots of tendrils, and you arrived safely in the city of Hildenea, South Hildenea to be specific. That's where it is. Um, in gratitude for your service, the captain of the ship gave Velwyn, Lenny, Celine, Divok, and Leaf a voucher letter good for 2 nights of free room and free food at the Fish Pig Inn in Hero Square. There you met the gorgeous waitress Dulcia, who you later learned was a tiefling, which is a very rare thing on this planet. And you met a trio of goblin concierges, Gary, Mary, and Larry. Gary has the afternoon dinner shift, Mary has the night shift, Larry has the breakfast lunch shift. And you spent the night, and in the morning you met Jack here, the very pale, even paler than Velwyn musician who is somehow bonded with an enormous flute and can do magic. And you also met Raina, the strikingly beautiful, very good muscle definition half orc, who wears some chainmail and has a little flame tattoo on her shoulder there. Uh, you finished breakfast, and Leaf tried and failed horribly to get a date with Dulcia. And there was a commotion outside, and you made your way to the south edge of the city, where you witnessed a Raudar emerge from the forest. It was this large, bone white monstrosity consisting of like a confusing tangle of limbs. And the Raudar was killed by a well trained contingent of Townsguard archers, led by a handsome and imposing Leonin captain. When it died, the Raudar evaporated completely except for a strange conical skull. Everyone made their way back to Hero Square to retrieve your things from the Fish Pig Inn. And you arrived just in time to witness another slightly smaller Raudar explode from underneath the cobblestones and immediately knock Dulcia unconscious. And then a huge battle ensued. There was lots of lightning and punching, and Velwyn got knocked out, only to be brought back by Leaf. Even Dulcia helped out. She knows the frostbite cantrip, which she says she only uses to keep the beer cold normally. Finally, Jack landed the killing blow on the Raudar with a kind of a sonic eldritch blast. And then a very battered Velwyn actually picked up its skull. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but
I think it's in my inventory.
Afterwards, we
Yeah, it's
met
in my inventory.
Mr. Clancy Castle here, the respected businessman and owner of the Fish Pig Inn, who led you down underneath Hero Square, down the hole that the router came out of, where you discovered a small community of kobolds that the router had like torn through and done some damage to, and unfortunately killed a couple of them. An Earth Cleric came down and thankfully healed Velwyn up to full. And then back in the Fish Pig Inn, Mr. Castle expressed his gratitude by giving each of you 5 platinum pieces and several tokens, good for free ferry rides to North Hildenea and back, and good for a deluxe soak and massage. That's what, yes, deluxe soak and massage at the Phoenix's Ashes Bathhouse and Spa in North Hildenea, which Mr. Castle also owns. And also good for a free lunch at the Perfectly Pickled restaurant next door to the spa, which Mr. Castle also owns. You also very briefly met the mayor of Hildenea, the halfling Miss Glenda Goodberry, who was kind of imperious and didn't really spend much time talking to you. And then you also briefly met Clancy's adopted daughter, the Tabaxi girl named Mercy. And Mercy actually relayed news that a white dragon had just moved into the nearby floating peak of Mount Belagaros, pictured here in this illustration. In the end, Clancy told you to go enjoy a spa day and then meet him back at the Fish Pig Inn for dinner so he could discuss an opportunity with you. And then everyone leveled up to level 2.
Yeah.
So
What is?
As we're starting out this episode, Leaf and Devok and Celine are going to run up to the rooms to pick up their backpacks and stuff that they left there because they didn't expect to be out fighting a Raudar. It just happened. When they come back down, Clancy's gone over to the reception desk and is talking with Larry there, and a female elf cleric of the life domain comes in, and they dress kind of like nurses from like the turn of the 19th century. It's like all white with like an apron. And she says, I have a little bit of healing left in me, I think. Are there any injured in here? And Jack raises his hand because he's down to 5 hit points. And so she walks over and places a hand on his shoulder and says some things. And Jack is now up to full. And so you all gather up. Anybody want to do anything before you head out? Oh, I forgot to mention this in the recap. Also, Dulcea told you, Lenny, where a couple of places where you could get herbs because you were asking about them.
Yeah.
She said there was a place called Hill. What was it? It was I lost it. It was Henrietta's Herbs, which was up on the riverfront, and then there was also some place in the Magic Mall that she said.
Yeah, but one of them has an
probably find that.
alliteration. I like that one.
I love Henrietta's Herbs and Magic Mall. Yes. I forgot to mention that. Sorry.
I would like to go to the bar and fill my flask with whiskey.
Whiskey? Oh, yeah, sure. Clancy
What?
will let you do that. That's no problem.
What time is it?
It's about 8:30 in the morning.
Didn't say I was going to drink it now. Don't judge
You've
me.
had a rough morning. I wouldn't judge you if you
Take your
did.
judging eyes elsewhere.
Raised eyebrows. That's all. When you turn around, just raised eyebrows.
Hey, you know what? This is not for right now, and I don't appreciate the eyes that you're giving me, okay? So how about you just look the other way?
Bivok said, "Oh, we've all had a morning. I wouldn't judge him."
And I look right at Velwyn, and just because you're looking at me, I'm going to uncork it, and I'm going to go,
Yeah, do it.
tastes like fire. I love it.
And at that, whew, the room goes suddenly dark. You can't see out the windows. It's like black outside. It should be like morning sunlight streaming in.
Oh, boy.
And whoosh, the large fireplace on the east wall of the room suddenly roars to life with a huge burst of fire. And the fire twists and bends into itself, and it forms this giant face filling the entire fireplace. And it goes, Barnabas, the time of retribution is at hand. You shall not escape the wrath of I, Krolar. Now prepare yourself. And Clancy steps forward and raises his hand. I'm sorry, Mr. Krolar, was it? Who were you looking for? Huh? Barnabas! And Clancy looks around at all. You guys are like the only people in here, you guys and Lenny the Goblin. He goes, I'm sorry, there's no Barnabas in this room. Larry?
Just quickly. Barnabas is here, and I'm going to gesture towards Lenny.
Barnabas? That's not Barnabas!
A lot has changed.
Larry's
Look.
looking through his book on the reception desk and goes, nobody named Barnabas stay in here.
It's a fake name.
And the fire face of fire like comes out of the fireplace and is like looking intently at Lenny.
My name's not Barnabas. My name's Lenny, man. I
That's
don't
exactly
That's a
what Barnabas would say.
goblin. Barnabas isn't a goblin.
He only looks
Right.
like a goblin. It is a
Right, no.
strong magic.
You know what? Look, we're gonna
You
have.
should be able to tell by the smell.
And Clancy just goes, I'm sorry, Mr. Krolar. There's no Barnabas here. I'm afraid you have the wrong fireplace. This is terribly embarrassing.
Bye.
That's all right. These things happen. I was certain this was the right place. And the face starts to
really
just
is.
contract again.
It really
And
you-
it turns to the side as it's disappearing, and you hear, "Mom, it was the wrong fireplace!" And then whoosh, it's gone. The lights come back on. You can see the light come washing in through the windows once more. Beautiful day. Clancy turns to you and just shrugs.
Velwyn,
you are now Barnabas. You are now Barnabas. I'm sorry.
I am not Barnabas, and I'm here to tell you that you should watch where you go to sleep later because you might end up with shit in your socks.
That's rather rude, Barnabas.
Look,
Clancy goes, I'm going to head back upstairs. I have more business to go over with Gary up there. Thank you again. Enjoy your spa
Great.
day. Meet me back here at 7 o'clock tonight. And then he
sounds
gets up.
great. It might just be one of us.
Celine goes, gather up. There's one thing before we head out. We look terrible. Does anyone have
I
mending?
look fabulous. What are you talking about?
Well,
Mending. Leaf raises his hand. I know mending.
I'm gonna
All right.
stab you.
Let's prestidigitate and mend, everyone. And so,
Can you
Celine starts
prestidigitate blood?
yeah, actually,
yes,
Perfect.
that is the thing. I'm going to take a step away from Lenny.
I'm gonna throw my dagger at your foot and intentionally miss.
Hold up. Give me a second. Okay, yeah, you'll miss. Fair enough.
Good. Because I rolled really bad.
Yeah.
As
I
per
may
usual.
have tried to dodge out of the way and put my foot in the way of it, but we rolled well enough to not do that. So
Okay.
anyway, would you like to hit the spa? I feel like water and you are needed in the same vicinity.
Look, you can go for the water. I'm going for the ladies and the massaging that's about to happen. Let's go.
Barnabas.
Clancy did say deluxe soak and massage.
That's exactly
Well-
right. And I'm going to use the deluxe for all it's worth. Let's go.
Hey, on our way over, right? Can I discreetly and subtly look for a place that prints something akin to name tags, like some type of thing that you can write a name on?
Sure,
I'm going to fucking kill you.
I can look it for that. Before that, though, you step out into Hero Square. Like I said, it's about 8:30 in the morning. It's a beautiful morning. Blue skies with some of those big billowing, like My Neighbor Totoro style clouds.
Hell yeah.
Morning birds are singing. It's Hero Square has a very like Bavarian architecture, dark wood framed with plaster in between. 2-3 stories. You noticed that you didn't notice this. You got in very late last night, so it was dark, and then this morning you were just kind of distracted by Raudar stuff. But the foundations of all the buildings are made out of these. It's stone in like the size and shape of a regular brick, but it's like a very pale granite that has a sparkly element to it, like someone mixed glitter into it almost. It's very pretty, and like all the foundations of these buildings look like they're made out of it. And then in the middle of the square is still the heroes of the Raudarian War, the goddess Illyria, when she was still mortal, surrounded by her 4 companions. Just to the right of that is the hole that the Raudar came out of. And next to the hole, Mayor Glenda Goodberry looks to be consoling a few kobolds who are kind of looking dejected over there. And you can see 2 townsguard come walking up out of the hole carrying small, looks like corpses wrapped in sheets. And then
Excellent.
in front of the statue is the sausage vendor who you saw in the last episode, just kind of looking over at the kobolds kind of sadly. And then on the other side of the to the left of the statue is a small crowd of people, maybe like a dozen, who are all looking at you guys as you come out of the Fish Big Inn. And one of them, somebody in the crowd, points at you and shouts, "That's them that killed the Raudar!" And a big cheer goes up. Hooray! And they kind of press forward towards you. Not in like an intimidating way, just kind of like they want to say thank you and shake your hands. And Devok's loving it. He's like, "Yeah, all right. Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, that was great." And
I had it was I grabbed somebody, like a short somebody, and I just kind of
yeah,
bring
there's a
him in,
gnome
like,
in there.
It was pure chaos. The fear in Velwyn's eyes over here. I couldn't believe the things that I had to do to save his ass. And luckily you have a cleric here, because if not, things could have ended up very badly for, old Whistlebritches over here.
He's absolutely right. Please let everyone know that the savior of the day, truly the MVP, without a doubt, could not have done it without him, was Barnabas.
You know what? And my name is Lenny. He bumped his head, so he's kind of getting my name
And
wrong.
so the crowd start going,
No.
Barnabas.
And he freaks out and just stomps off to the sausage vendor to eat his pissed offness on the way to the thing.
All right. And in the back of the crowd, there's like this big, like elderly minotaur, and he looks at all you guys and goes, "The heroes of Hero Square, huh?" And just kind of chuckles. And the crowd kind of disperses and goes back around their morning business. Except for 2 people who kind of linger kind of in your guys' way. There's a human man that looks probably 50-ish, short gray hair, clean shaven. He's wearing bright red robes with white trim and the symbol of the Arcana domain of Goldar, the god of magic. And you would recognize this as the uniform, as it were, of a high-ranking Arcana cleric. And in this world, Arcana temples are centers of experimental magical research, and they're not known to be very safety conscious. The second man has very long elfin ears and wavy green and pink hair, and his robes are covered in like flowers and leaf buds and stuff. You recognize him as an Eladrin in spring form. And there were no Eladrin on this planet before 100 years ago also. So they're not very common. The Arcana cleric holds up his hands and goes, "Hello, yes, so sorry to bother you. I'm senior researcher Hadrim Dask, and this is my friend the wizard Jorith. Thank you, first of all, for defeating the Raudar before it could do even more harm to helpless people than it already did. Second of all, we can't help but notice that you picked up the Raudar skull, and we were wondering if you'd be willing to perhaps part with it. You see, as researchers, we believe it to be most helpful in some of our experiments."
I lean over to Velwyn and I'm like, If you let go of that for out some serious coin, I'm gonna cut you.
Oh, yes. And Jorah goes, 50 gold.
Keep going.
$60.
I look over at Velwyn. I look back at this dude.
Yeah, Divac elbows Velwyn. Higher.
Persuasion roll, and Lenny asks for 150.
Oh, Velwyn, I can't hear you all of a sudden.
I muted as stuff was going by. My bad.
Oh.
Persuasion, and that's going to be a 21.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. I rolled pretty poorly. So he'll go, Jorah, the wizard, the ladder, and goes, 120.
Pretty sure I said 150.
Now, hold on. 120.
No.
120 is a solid deal. I think we could maybe do 130 and be clued in and participate in said research.
Jorah looks over at Hadron Dask, and Hadron Dask kind of looks over at Jorah. We can keep you appraised of our experiments, of course, but I don't know. As participation, it's like 140, no participation.
That sounds pretty fucking good. Not gonna lie. I'm not really keen on the participating in the extracurricular activities of mages.
I'm very fucking curious now, though.
Well, we'll keep you appraised, of course. Are you staying at the Fish Pig?
Yes.
And
where did you say your research center was at, there, boss?
It's in North Hildenea, kind of towards the hill, towards the eastern edge of town. Ask around, people can.
Okay. No participation, but how about a viewing, if you will? Perhaps a tour as well.
Oh, yes, certainly, yes. That would be most amenable. Just don't touch anything.
I think we can do 140 with a tour and some viewing of your process.
All right, so Jorah reaches into a pouch, pulls out 140 gold, holds it out for you.
I'm assuming we're doing that 70 apiece.
Yeah.
Well, there's also 5 other people here in this group.
Oh shit, that's right.
That's a good point.
You just figure it out.
140 divided by 7. 20 gold apiece.
Dope.
Love it.
Along with our 5 platinum.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Cool.
And then Hadron holds out his hand for the skull.
Yeah, I'll kind of.
I stab him in the face. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Barnabas, relax.
My name is. Look, if you don't stop calling me Barnabas, I might just do it. All right. Just to prove a point.
Deep breaths.
Look, I don't take deep breaths. I got little goblin lungs. Okay.
In.
I swear to God, I look over at D-Bach. I'm like, I'm gonna stab him. I swear to God, I'm gonna stab him.
If you can stab me if you really need to stab.
I really don't, but you're cool. I
am. That's why it's okay if you stab me. Get out the aggression. He's looking at me. He's all skinny and stuff. You'll kill him.
That's true.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Grabbing the rabbit skull, by the way, and just like handing it over.
All right. Hadron puts it in a bag of holding. Very obviously a bag of holding because it's smaller than the skull. And they say, thank you. And they look at you weirdly as they're heading away.
You know, I feel like, just spitball it, we got ripped off and probably could have done more with that.
They started.
You're probably not wrong. We got an extra 100 gold.
To 140.
Almost 100 gold out of them. So.
Right, but I feel like we could have used it somewhere.
So what if we just kill our own Raldar and keep it for next time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Celine goes like, I'd really prefer not to fight another one of those things if possible.
So what do you say we get some sausages over here and we head on for our luxurious day at the
I'm full from breakfast still, but if you want a sausage, Lenny, go ahead.
Oh, I do.
It's 2 silver.
While Lenny's getting a sausage, do I mayhap see something?
See what?
While Lenny's getting sausage, or is there perhaps another stand somewhere that may have a name tag of some kind?
I'm thinking around the square. There's a place that sells like little hand-drawn illustrations.
Hand-drawn illustrations, huh?
Yeah, like little cards. Little
make
cards
that work.
have been
That's
drawn
great. A little,
yeah.
little-
I can make that work.
on. Okay. 8 silver.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'll walk over and for 8 silver for sure. Excuse me, I just need a kind of name tag for a friend of mine. People keep mispronouncing his name and misspelling it. It's a very common problem. Yeah.
It's a human woman, probably in her 40s, behind the counter. She goes, "Oh, would you like fancy writing?"
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Sure, I can make that for you. What's the name?
It's just Barnabas. Barnabus.
And she takes out like a little calligraphy brush and she does a very fancy Barnabas on a slip of paper. It's about 5 inches wide, an inch tall. It's nice. It's like nice, like watercolor style paper.
Oh, thank you so much. This is wonderful. Can you make change for a gold piece?
Of course. And she slides over your change.
And you said this was 8, right?
Yeah, 8 silver.
All right, cool. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you very much.
The paper.
Good luck to your friend Barnabas.
Oh yes, thank you. You wouldn't happen to have any type of adhesive or?
Oh no, I'm sorry, I don't.
Any idea where I might find some?
You might try Henrietta up at the riverfront. She sells all sorts of strange things.
Oh, wonderful! Thank you so much. I'll go back to Lenny.
The sausages, while he's on his way over, are there any like real exotic type of sausages here? Like made out of something that we would consider faux pas, per se?
Oh, you can ask, but it's hard to tell just from looking at the sausages. They all look regular.
I'll definitely be like, hey, so do you sell any sausages that are made out of something just real weird?
Like goat?
Well, like, let's say somebody was to find out.
We got some venison in. This one over here is venison.
Doesn't strike me as odd.
It's
you know
not
what?
really, but
For another time. I'll take
right.
2 of those and 2 of those.
all right, there you go. We'll say 4 silver total for 4 sausages.
Got it.
I don't know how money works.
It's totally fine. Doesn't matter. That's what it is. Sold.
It is now.
It is now.
So
I
the
turn around and I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh, I did some shopping.
when you join back up, Jack looks at you all and goes. He looks suddenly very confused. He goes, "I'm sorry. I'm going to have to meet up with you guys later. I have to go this direction." And he kind of points to like west-southwest, back towards the waterfront, back towards the ocean.
Can I insight?
Sure.
yell if you need anything. And remember 7 o'clock.
I don't see shit. That's 9.
All right. I'll meet you back here at 7. And he heads off out the western exit of Hero Square. If you guys are heading towards the river and Henrietta's and all that stuff, that's out the northern exit of the square.
Would you like to head to Henrietta's, Lenny?
I mean, yeah, let's go.
Of course, Lenny.
Fucking hate you. I'm going to eat my sausage the whole way while I'm side-eyeing your ass, thinking of all the objects I could pick up and chuck at you right now.
For what reason?
I don't know. You chose violence, and it's going to come back twofold.
He hasn't done anything violent to you.
Yeah.
Wait till he glues that to
Psychological
me.
violence.
Exactly.
On our way, if Lenny ever stops to like check out stalls or like look in windows or anything, I would like to ask random people on the street, just like anybody that would know, what was that guy in the fireplace's name?
Crowlar.
Crowlar? I'm gonna ask people if they know
Crowlar.
who the fuck Crowlar is.
Yeah, you can ask a couple of people. They'll everyone's like, Crowlar doesn't sound familiar to me. He's a hobgoblin. Kind of sounds like a hobgoblin name.
He's in a fireplace. Hobgoblin.
I don't know. That was my best guess. I don't know. People can be named anything, and they just kind of head on.
Interesting.
And
do I get that multiple times, or is that like one person?
You
Is there
you can ask.
consensus?
I'll say you ask 3 people. Nobody has heard of Crowlar.
Do I get multiple people saying that it sounds hobgoblin-y?
No, just that one guy.
Fuck. Okay. All right. That's fine. All right. Continue. on our
You
way,
do.
guys.
After you go a couple of blocks, you hear from behind you someone go, "Sister?" And you all turn around, and you see 2 humanoids, a male and a female, with a little girl, like 5-6-year-old size. And you see the man and the woman both have snake eyes and short snake-like fangs. And the woman has some brown scales creeping up her neck. And the man's more covered up, so you can't tell. All on him you see are the eyes and the fangs. And Celine sees them and really quickly walks up to them and goes, "Brother, sister, little sister, it's so good to meet you." And they all pinch their middle finger and thumb together and touch it to their forehead and then their heart, all like simultaneously, all 4 of them. And the woman says, we heard a group of people defeated a Raudar, and there was a Yuan-Ti among them in a yellow dress. We came to see." And Celine goes, yes, that was us. And she gestures back to you guys, my friends and I. And the woman grabs Celine's hands and goes, thank you so much. And
She's been
Celine,
a
it's
great
like,
help.
Celine just doesn't know what to say to this. And the little girl steps up to Celine and goes, "You're very pretty." And Celine goes, "Me?" And she like kneels down. So she's at the girl's level and goes, "You're so beautiful. Look at your pattern." And you can see the girl has snake skin on her arms up to her wrist. That's like dark green with like cream colored stripes going down it. Kind of like a garter snake almost. And Celine goes, "You're so lucky." And the mom kneels down next to the daughter and goes, "We're all so lucky. The goddess Likami has blessed us with these bodies, right?" And the little girl goes, "Right." And Celine and the other woman stand back up. And the male Yuan-Ti says, "Well, we should get this little one home now. It was so nice to meet you, sister. You do the Yuan-Ti proud." And Celine says, "It was wonderful to meet you, brother, sister, little sister." And they all, in turn, briefly press their foreheads together. And you guys might have seen some Yuan-Ti in your time. They're not very common, but you've probably never seen anything like this before. So this is all new to you. And
I
the
will
family
never
turns.
understand.
The family turns and walks off, and Celine turns back to you guys. Lenny and Velwyn, you have been roommates with Celine for like 2 months now.
Barnabas.
Yes, Lenny and Barnabas and
Lenny.
Velwyn have been.
Lenny.
So you've known her for a long time. She's always been kind of quiet and reserved, like maybe a little chuckle behind here. She'll laugh, but like hide it with her hand. Maybe a little twinkle in her eye now and then, but not a lot of emotion. And she turns to you, and there are tears in her eyes. And she goes, "Oh, that was nice. There weren't any other Yonti at my mage academy in Orinter. I haven't seen any of my kind since my parents died 8 years ago, and I left Sildaria for Orinter. Oh, that was nice."
Aww.
And
I don't feel like an asshole now.
Devok comes up and puts an arm around her and goes, "Oh, you big softy, I knew it." And she kind of wipes her eyes and goes, "Oh, it's spa day, right? Yeah, let's go have spa day."
Let's go
Yes,
spa day.
Spa day. We just have
So
to hit
you
up
go a couple more
Henrietta's
blocks.
real quick.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So we
What was
just have
that?
to hit up Henrietta's real quick.
Yes, so you get up to the riverfront, and there's like a narrow wooden boardwalk lining the river, and some like piers and docks sticking out from it. And you see a couple of docks down to the right. There's a big barge is docked, and there are people unloading crates from it. And there's like warehousey looking businesses that way. And then to the left, you see a pier that has a sign in front of it that says Ferry Dock 3C. And there's a symbol on it that's kind of a watery symbol that matches the tokens that Clancy gave you. And then on this side of the boardwalk, so kind of like 3 doors down from you on this side of the boardwalk, opposite the river, is a small cottage-looking building with like thatched roof and everything. And there's a sign hanging out in front of it that says Henrietta's Herbs.
Quaint.
Adorable.
We go there.
Yeah, you needed something inside, right?
I do. I got some things that I might need. You know.
Devok says, "I'm going to wait outside. I don't need anything." And Celine and Leaf are like, "Yeah, we'll wait out here." And Raina indicates she'll wait outside too.
I'll accompany you, Lenny.
You know, I was just hoping that you were going to say that.
Of course. What are friends for? I'm really starting to grow. You're starting to grow on me.
Just
After
chuckle
2 months
that
of knowing
response
him.
and go inside. Inside I go.
Okay, so you head in. It's a very small. The building goes back, but the front area where you actually enter is very small. It's like maybe 7 feet by 10 feet, and there's just a counter stretching the entire way across the front. And there are some like dried flowers and stuff arrangements in this part. Behind the counter is a person made entirely out of like pink rose quartz. These are the people who were stranded here 100 years ago when a gigantic portion of the elemental plane of Earth got teleported to Sildaria, about 50 miles south of where you guys are now, South Hildenea. And this race of people came out of it and kind of spread throughout the world. And it looks up at you as you come in. There's a little bell on the door that dings when you come in, and it goes, "Oh, hello, dearies. How can I help you?"
Right. How's it going? My name's Lenny. Nice to meet you.
Lenny. Wonderful
yeah.
to meet you.
Yep. This is my pal Dipshit.
Velvet, a pleasure.
And she just laughs at that. Like a little cackle laugh. Welcome to Henrietta's Herbs. I have quite a selection.
Yeah, it looks great. I got a couple of selections that I'm looking for. Do you got anything that kind of, I don't know, might elevate my mood if you get my drift? You know, just
She
little
like
bit
narrows
of,
her eyes and
Once,
looks at
once
you.
again, raised eyebrows.
you know, at the end of the day, you know, sometimes you just like to take a load off and have a little herbs, you know?
Oh, I think I might have something for that. And she reaches down and carefully pulls her fingers are made out of crystals too, and they look like pretty sharp and jagged. And she very carefully reaches down under the counter and pulls out a glass jar and sets it down and uncorks it. It's got a big, like 3-inch cork on it. Goes boop. And she takes it out and goes, "This is a special herb that grows only, from what I'm told, in the inland fjords region here in Sildaria. Um, it's supposed to help relax you, get you in a good mood. You can make tea out of it. You can eat it raw, although some people say it has a bitter flavor if you eat it raw. Would you like a sample?"
I would love to try some of that. And seeing that you said that we can make it into tea, you got anything kind of loose leaf and fruity? You could, you know, maybe we could make
Oh, certainly.
a little deal here.
She
Loose leaf and fruity, huh?
she brings out another jar that has, it looks like has tea leaves in it, and also like dehydrated slivers of apple, like centimeter slivers of apple in it. Because I have some apple green tea.
Oh,
If
that would be
to your liking.
that would be fantastic. All right, so if we could just set that off to the side. My next question, I'm gonna come a little closer. Do you have anything? You know, sometimes I have to do business, right? And sometimes business gets a little weird, a little spooky. Sometimes, you know, and you got to
What
do the
is your
things.
business, pray tell?
You know, people ask for things, and I go and either acquire them, or I find the people that you know that can acquire them, and sometimes that gets a little messy. What I'm thinking is, do you have anything that you know I could put on? And I pull out my dagger, and I've turned it around hilt to her, not like the opposite way. You know, that I could maybe put on the end of this here dagger to oh, I don't know. Maybe keep my quarry from moving for, you know, a little while.
So poison then, yes?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes,
certainly,
yes.
yes.
That's what I'm looking for.
I don't actually sell any poison here, but I'm certain with the right concoction of herbs, you could come up with some yourself. You seem
I'm
like a
kind of
bright
thinking
fellow.
for, you know, temporary paralysis.
Let's see. And she's starts just pulling out all these jars and different sizes, different colored herbs, dried, fresh, just all sorts of things. And she's
Let's
stacking
go.
them in this big arrangement here. How many doses would you be looking at?
I mean, if I could, like, you know, make 5 to 10 doses, that would be great.
All right. This is very expensive.
Like, how much we talking?
5 doses. That would be 250 gold.
How much is each platinum worth?
10.
10 or 100? Oh, shit, I
10.
don't got that.
Yeah.
How much for one dose?
150.
Damn. You know what? Why the hell not? I got lots of free night and plenty of food coming my way here real soon, so here's your 50.
All right. You hand over the 5 platinum.
Yep.
Thank you, dearie. And she starts scooping into these various jars, and she brings out like this glass tray that has a little lip on it, and she arranges them all. And she takes her pinky, and the edge of her crystalline pinky is like super sharp, and she just starts going and cutting all these herbs into tiny bits and like moving them around. And you know, and then she takes a bottle and she very carefully scoops it all into the bottle, corks it up, passes it over to you. That's the dry form, of course. If you'd like to apply it to a weapon, you'll have to mix it with something to get it into a sticky situation.
I think I can take care of that. Thank you so much. I don't know what Tweedledee you're here needed from your shop, but that's all I need.
Yes,
so I'm going to slide out the door. Much love, lady. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Person. Out the door I go.
Just a couple of things. In the future, when you see my associate, he much prefers his friends refer to him as Barnabas.
Well, that's funny. He introduced himself as Lenny.
It's kind of it's a long story. It's more of a cover name that he's using on the slide.
Well, I wouldn't want to break his cover. I'll call him Lenny if he calls himself Lenny. If someone asks me to use a specific name, I'll use that name.
In private company. Another thing, I'm looking for the strongest adhesive that you may have.
Strongest adhesive?
The strongest adhesive.
Just a moment. And she like goes whoop, and disappears
Also,
down behind the counter.
Perhaps the second and third strongest as well. Options are good.
She comes back up. Hold on a second. And she has this tiny little vial. Sovereign glue. 3,000 gold.
That is a wonderful thing. What merits such a price tag?
It's magic.
As are many things. In what way?
The bond it creates can only be broken by a universal solvent, an oil of etherealness, both of which are also magic and very rare, or with a wish, which...
What the fuck is this? Okay. And what are the second and third place options? What
As she pulls out this little dish that has like a wadded up piece of it. It looks like solidified sap almost. And she puts it in front of you. This is the second most sticky. It'll stick things together pretty well. I mean, if you're looking to stick two pieces of wood together for a couple of years.
The specific project that I have in mind is more of like a paper to fabric situation.
Oh, in that case, you should have just led with that. And she takes out this little jar that has like this kind of white goopy stuff looking in it. 4 silver.
Done. That I can do. Can I expect results out of this?
Oh, sure. It'll stick paper to fabric until it gets wet.
Wonderful. You said 4 silver?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
It's funny. Your friend Lenny just bought some poison, and yet somehow I trust your intentions less than his.
What makes you say that?
You've just got this sort of shadow about you.
There's just a look.
But I do appreciate the business.
I see. The final thing before I leave, and I'm gonna ask her if she knows anything about our fiery friend.
Krolar? No, it doesn't sound familiar. What did he look like?
Well, he was a head of fire in a fireplace. Yes. Was there more of a description to that than
it was a giant face of fire, I believe is what I said.
Giant face of fire, yeah.
So probably not the most distinct features. And she just kind of chuckles and goes, the weirdness. Anything else I can help you with, Sonny?
No, that will do. Thank you.
All
so
right,
much.
thanks for stopping by, Henrietta's Herbs.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will. I'll take my leave.
Okay. Everyone meets up back outside. You see now there is a small boat docked at Ferry Dock 3C.
Mhm.
It's kind of about. It looks a lot like the boats from the Jungle Cruise in Disneyland. It's like open and there's like a little canvas roof over it, and it's about that size. About 20 feet long. Could probably fit a couple of dozen people in it, but it looks empty right now. And sitting on the dock on a little barrel is a hobgoblin, middle-aged. He's got
Okay. The
yeah.
the hobgoblin specifically, I need to talk to.
Okay. He's got like big black mutton chops and a little goatee, and his hair is kind of pulled up into almost like a Japanese style bun. And he's wearing like a vest and like really short shorts, and he's got like a little belly, but his legs are insanely muscular. He's got like thighs and calves for days. And he's just kind of sitting on this barrel looking out towards the river.
Hello.
And he looks back at you guys. Hey, you need a ferry?
Where all do you ferry to?
North and back.
And the spa's to the north, right?
Yeah, the spa and the restaurant are in north.
Yeah. We will need passage to the north. And while we're at it, would you say you are well traveled and knowing of the?
Oh, that's kind of tricky. I know Hildenea pretty well. I've been working here for the last 8 years.
Ah, wonderful. I am once again asking about our fiery friend.
Krolar? Huh. Sounds kind of familiar, but I don't think so. Was it some weirdness?
Yes, a head and a fireplace made out of fire.
Huh. That's a new one. Well,
Yeah, we would love to barter passage.
Celine steps forward and says, "We actually got these fairy tokens from Mr. Clancy Castle." And the hobgoblin kind of stands up and goes, "Ooh, let me see." And he takes the fairy token and goes, "Oh, y'all have one?"
Yeah. Pull
Okay.
them on.
So he takes all your tokens, goes, "All right, Mr. Castle." He actually owns this boat. I work for him. I'm Oakmore. Welcome aboard my boat.
Wonderful.
Careful as you step on, and he'll like hold your hands as you each go in to
Yeah.
make sure you don't slip or anything.
I'll make sure Velvin goes last.
Okay.
And as he's boarding the boat, just final question.
So he grabs your hand and goes, "Holy!"
Apologies. It's rather
Woo.
nippy out. It's a little cold.
Warn a fellow there, eh?
It's a little cold. Is there we haven't seen like a newspaper or anything here, right?
No, you haven't seen the newspaper in
is-
South Hildenea.
Is there any like typical news or like spreading of information in town?
Town crier.
Yeah, you get criers every once in a while if there's something noteworthy happening, like the group of people that killed the Raudar in Hero Square. A rumor of that sped really fast.
That would be us. If you
Oh, you're kidding!
Yeah, if you've
Oh.
heard the chanting, this is Barnabas.
The name's Lenny.
Lenny or Barnabas?
Lenny.
The
I'm
chanting
Lenny.
the chanting may have went awry. And
Yeah, I heard someone was saying Barnabas, and there was like a
Barnabas.
snake lady. Oh, sorry, Yonti. There was a palm. Hey, it is you guys. All right,
Yes.
glad to have you on board.
But no newspaper or anything for the town.
Oh no, we're not that big of a city yet. We're getting there. They just got some sort of fancy machine that prints words on paper in the library up north.
Ah, wonderful. Well, thank you so
DM,
much.
I would like to attempt something as we get on the boat.
Sure.
I would like to attempt to swipe all of our tokens back.
Oh, this motherfucker.
Okay. You each have 2 tokens, so you can come there and back.
I know. I still want to
All
swipe
right.
them.
Yeah, I figured.
This is just in character. He's just,
Yeah,
Ooh,
Just a little
21
shit.
again.
21 again.
Nice
I
silvery
rolled a
barbs, you though.
I rolled a 3. So yeah, he's talking with Velwyn. He doesn't notice. No one
Cool.
notices. No one has a passive perception of 21 in this party.
No. And I will get on the boat without assistance. I will not make him touch me again.
Okay, so Oakvor, undoes the rope on the dock and pushes off, and he gets in this chair kind of thing in the back of the boat, and this boat has a big paddle wheel on the back of it, about 4 feet in diameter. And Oakvor sits down and he starts using his feet to pump this pedal, this big panel on the floor, and as he's pumping it, the paddle wheel starts to spin behind him. Kind of slowly
cool.
at first, and then Oakvor is continuously just stomping on this panel, and it spins faster and faster until it gets up to a certain speed, and then he pulls a lever, and there's this brief flash of green, and he lifts his legs up, and the paddle wheel keeps going. It doesn't slow down. And he goes, there we go. It'll take about 20 minutes to get across the river. The river here is a full mile wide. And you can see on the other shore, you can see North Hildenea. It looks bigger than South Hildenea. There are some taller buildings. You see a couple of spires, a tower. It just generally looks like a more built-up city. Past the city itself, there's this enormous hill that kind of looms above it that's got some sparse trees on it, and you can see some like buildings and houses are kind of going up the hillside, but it gets sparser and sparser as it goes higher and higher, and so the top doesn't have any trees or any buildings on it at all, and the hill is kind of blocking the view of anything that would be further north of the city.
Gotcha.
So that's so 20 minutes across. Anything?
Lenny's just gonna sit back and enjoy the view and take a few tugs off of his flask.
Would you say that Lenny is like distracted in this moment?
I would say he's very much enjoying the leisure of the boat ride and not having to paddle it himself. So probably a good chance he's fairly occupied.
I will say, Velwyn, if you want to do something, you can roll a stealth, and Lenny can roll a perception.
Yeah, so that's what it's gonna be. We are going to kind of like towards the back, apply the adhesive to that piece of paper.
I would like to choose to do this at disadvantage.
Sure, yeah, go for it.
Okay. And I will roll stealth.
Fucking beautiful. Natural 1.
I got a 16.
Yeah, Lenny doesn't see shit.
So I'm just gonna kind of like come up and go, Lenny, I think we may have gotten off on the wrong foot.
2 months ago.
Yes, we may have gotten off on the wrong foot. I may have insulted your smell. I think it may have just taken me some time to acclimate. Is all. And as I'm kind of talking about this, I'm just gonna. I think you're a stellar individual, and kind of like pat him on the chest as I stick the adhesive sign that just says Barnabas on his shirt in plain view.
Yeah, he doesn't notice.
All to see.
Velwyn, that's so nice of you to say. And while I truly believe that it's heartfelt, I'm trying to take in the view right now. So if you
My apologies.
could, and just yeah, that's great.
I'm gonna go back
Yeah,
and sit
for
next
it.
to Celine.
Look where the hobgoblin goes. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a really nice day. It's so sunny. I don't think I'll ever get used to that.
What
Is
do you
it
mean?
not normally sunny here?
Oh, I actually come from a different world where there is no sun. There's just this like rift around the entire planet that brightens and darkens over like a 24-hour period. So the sun thing is, I've been here 8 years and it's still new to
Would
me.
would you say it's similar to a veil almost?
Yeah, that's what people call it.
Oh,
Ah,
that's pretty crazy. You know, how
I mean, the sun is in the sky at different time periods and different parts of this planet. It's morning here, but back in Tiermanda, it's still night. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Lenny just turns around and starts looking out over the river, taking another sip.
yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with Celine. Me and Celine are just gonna shoot the shit.
All right. So you get to North Hildenea with no incident. Oakville, again, thank you for taking the trip and help you out of the boat. And except for you, Velwyn, he won't actually touch your hand.
It's the thought. It's the thought.
Thank
you.
Yeah, yes, of course. And has like a nicer like stone boardwalk instead of the narrow wooden one that was in South Hildenea. And in this part, you don't see any buildings that are shorter than 3 stories tall. And that sparkling gray stone seems to be much more prevalent in the construction of this part of the city. And it's not that like Bavarian style. It's more like Haussmann style, like
Okay.
Paris. It's kind of like that, where the buildings don't have corners, like all the corners are cut off or rounded. All the windows are like floor to ceiling double doors with like tiny little 4-inch wrought iron balconies sticking out of them. Most of the buildings look like they're probably apartment buildings on the upper stories and then have small businesses on the lower floors. Ahead of you, kind of pretty much directly ahead of you, you see this tall needle-like spire that it starts wider and gets narrower and narrower and narrower as it goes up. It's very tall. You can see it above the buildings. You recognize that as the symbol of the knowledge domain temples. And in this world, knowledge temples are libraries.
Hell yeah.
Off to the right, you see sticking up over the buildings, you see a tower that's probably 8 stories tall total. And it's made entirely out of this sparkly light gray granite. Doesn't seem to have any windows on it, though, from what you can see. It's just like cylinder sticking
Awesome.
up. There are people of all ages, genders, species bustling about. You actually see 2 trees coming up the boardwalk. These are, Devok's very skinny. He's a palm tree. These are much bulkier. They're almost like gorillas in proportion, big arms and stubby legs. And out of the backs of their heads and the shoulders and arms are pink cherry blossoms, just like fields of them. And they're just walking along, holding hands, kind of dripping blossoms behind them as they go. And they look over and see Devok and kind of nod to him, and he kind of nods back. There's a Loxodon, the humanoid elephant, just going about his business. You see to your left, there's a centaur, and he's got a little cart hitched up to him. It's very colorfully painted, and he's going, frozen fruit treats. Get your frozen fruit treats here. And you see, flitting among the buildings, you see it. At first, you think they're giant butterflies, but then you notice that they have their humanoid bodies that are probably about 2.5 feet tall. It's a couple of fairies just flitting about. You see them disappear and reappear between buildings. So that's where you're at.
Beautiful.
Celine goes, let's head straight to the spa.
Yeah,
I'm really
down.
eager for a spa day.
Let's go.
that spot sounds great.
Does anyone know where it is?
No.
My good sir, to the first person walking past.
Okay. I'd say it's an Owlin, just an Owlin guy. Oh, yes.
Nobody's gonna get this, but a hoo hoo. Uh,
That's
might
close.
we inquire to the spa's location?
Oh, the Phoenix Spa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Phoenix and Ash.
Phoenix is Ash's Spa. Yeah. Everyone knows where that is. So you go straight north through here. You'll come to a square. Go north out of the square. And pretty much that's it. You'll get to the hillside. It's kind of nestled in the hillside there. You can't miss it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And I'll pass
Yeah,
that
no
silver.
problem.
Hey,
Oh.
have you ever heard
you-
of somebody by the name of Crowlar? Crowlar?
God, doesn't sound familiar. Why is he a friend of yours? You meeting him at the spa?
No, he just kind of jumped into our fireplace the other night, and we're just kind of asking around, you know?
He was
Ah.
after our dear friend Bernard.
I look at you.
Sorry, can't be any help with that.
That's all right. Appreciate it. Lenny starts beat feet. He is ready for that spa day.
Yeah, let's go.
All
to
right.
Spa.
So you go a couple blocks and you get to, it opens up into a large square that's actually square shaped. It's not like Hero Square, which is kind of truncated diamond shaped. Surface of the square is square 12-inch stone blocks that are kind of a traditional brick color, the reddish brown, but they're inlaid with that sparkly stone to create these like beautiful geometric patterns. And there's tall buildings on all four sides, 4 or 5 stories. The bottom floors, it looks like there's a lot of cafes with like awnings and outdoor seatings with umbrellas. Others look like they could be various shops. Dominating the left side of the square is the library, the Knowledge Temple, with that big spire jutting out the top of it. And there are several like food carts around the perimeter, meat and veggie skewers, fresh fruits, vegetables, cabbages. There's another sausage cart, and the guy running it looks really familiar. There are planters near the 4 corners with like well-trimmed topiaries and flowering bushes. And in the center of this square is a fountain, and the water is like shooting up like 15 feet. And there's a little crowd gathered around it, younger teenager looking. And a girl and a guy are standing on each side of the fountain. And they're moving their hands about, drawing like glowing green glyphs in the air. And the fountain water is like moving and shifting as they do it. And you get the sense that they're using the shape water cantrip to amuse their peers.
Hell yeah.
And as you come into the square, a man steps out of the library, the big wide double doors of the library, and he's wearing dark reddish brown robes, has long gray hair, and he calls out to the group, "Okay, break's over. Let's get back to class." And now all the teenagers like, "Oh man," head on towards the library glumly. So you keep heading north.
Yeah.
A few more blocks. You kind of come out of this more downtownish feeling thing into a more quaint neighborhood. More wood buildings, regular brick buildings. They look like residential houses, some smaller apartments maybe. And you come up to where it starts to go up the hill. And to the right there is a big dome building. Probably, let me see, almost 100 feet in diameter, I would say. And it looks like several dark wooden trees almost have grown together and like start twisting around each other at the top. Like it's like a giant bow bun, except made out of wood, dark wood. And at the top where they all twist together, there's some like a bunch of branches sticking out, and it looks like a nest. And in the nest is very obviously an illusion because you can see through it, but there's a phoenix in the nest that every once in a while is sitting there kind of looking around, and every once in a while like preen itself or like stretch its wings. And it's all a flame, but again, you can see through it. It's very obviously an illusion. And there's no windows on this building, but there is a kind of regular sized door with a rounded top in the front.
Let's check it out.
Okay. Inside is a circular lobby. It's paneled entirely with long strips of a lighter colored wood. The walls are about 15 feet high. The ceiling is glowing, a very warm, soft light, like sunlight behind clouds, but it's at a light level where you don't have to squint at all. It's very nice. There's some cushy couches and chairs around the perimeter of the room. Off to the side on a cushioned stool is a young woman with a rabbit head, and she's covered entirely in white fur, and she's wearing long, bright white robes, and she's gently playing some beautiful ambient music on a full-size harp. And standing directly across from you as you enter is an elfin woman, pale skin, straight blonde hair combed back. She has a crown of flowers on, and she's wearing the same flowy white robes as the Harengon, or however you pronounce that. I don't know how to pronounce that word.
Close enough.
She steps forward and smiles at you all and says, "Welcome to the Phoenix's Ashes bathhouse and spa. I'm Dara Woodgrove. How may we help you?"
Yeah, see, your boy Clarence said we had a
and Devok elbows you. "Clancy."
right, Clancy. Sorry,
Names are
we
a
got
difficult
ourselves. Look, I don't want to hear from you. We got a couple of free passes to come up here and enjoy a luxury soak
Did
for
Mr.
the
Castle
day.
give you tokens?
Yeah, he sure did. Velwood.
I will present the tokens.
All right. And she takes them from you, and she kind of narrows her eyes at you a little bit. And she goes,
Yeah.
"There's something of a shadow about you. May I?" And she reaches out as if to shake your hand.
Fair warning. It's rather cold.
"That's all right if you don't mind. I'm
And
Dara."
Velvet, and I'll shake her hand.
And she looks off to the side like she's thinking about something as she's not flinching or anything. She just shakes your hand. She releases it and goes, "All right." And she asks everyone else their name. Leaf, Celine, Devok, Raina.
Does she ask
And
Lenny the name?
She
Lenny.
looks at Lenny expectantly.
Lenny.
"Are you sure?"
I mean,
It's a
I
it's a
was
long
born.
story. It's a long story.
Very well. If you all will just wait here, we'll get your room prepared.
Like singular room, or like everybody gets their own room.
She disappears out through like a bead curtain in the back of the room.
That was rude.
And
You're
she's
not
gone
getting no
for
5-star review.
she's gone for just a little while. She then reappears and asks you to follow her through another curtained doorway to your right.
Yeah.
And there's a short hallway that has one door on each side of it and another wooden door at the end of it. And she goes to that wooden door and opens it and then stands aside and gestures for you all to enter.
I'll let everybody go first, and as we go through, you're right. It is Bernard, but it's a whole thing. Don't worry about it.
It says Barnabas.
Fuck Barnabas. That's the one. Yes.
Fuck yourself.
Fuck my brain.
Right?
Okay, so you step into a domed circular room about 30 feet across. It doesn't even look like a room. It looks like you're in a forest glade. The walls are painted with trees and undergrowth, and there's some sort of subtle illusion magic to it that gives it a sense of depth. I mean, you can tell it's walls, but when you move your head, there's like a parallax effect, like video game background scrolling thing, where it just looks like there's more room in here than there is. It's a pretty neat illusion. Recessed into the floor in the middle of the room is a gently steaming pool. It's like peanut shaped, could fit probably a dozen, 18 people maybe. So small. It's carefully designed to look like a natural pool, except it's lined with stones. And there's a small pile of stones next to it that water is burbling out going into the pool. The floor looks like it's living moss, just actual moss. And the far end of the room, there's a tree. You can't tell if it's a real tree or not, but a tree that's embedded halfway into the wall, and it's curving up and arching over, and its branches are covering the entire domed ceiling. And the ceiling above these branches is again illuminated, but it's emitting a very cool dim light, and it filters through the branches to give like this very soft moon dappled lighting to the entire room. It looks like you're in like a beautiful midnight forest glade. It's beautiful. It would be very romantic if anyone were into that sort of thing.
Kind of make eyes
There's a
at
little
Lenny.
there's a little table to the right of you as you step through that's has a stack of very neatly folded white bath towels on it, and there are some curtains just on the other side of that hanging down, and there's some baskets on the floor to your left, and little cubbies carved into the walls that are the exact same size, so you could put the basket in the cubby. And there's some hooks and various things in the walls as well, where you could hang weapons or backpacks or robes.
So Lenny heard the words deluxe, all inclusive. Like, he walks over to one of those little cubby areas and he is just buck ass naked. And over to the pool he goes.
The elf woman doesn't even blink at this. She goes, the room is yours. You'll have complete privacy for the next 90 minutes. We do ask, like your friend here, that you do not wear your clothes into the pool. The towels are acceptable if you would prefer some modesty. The curtains here are for if you'd like privacy while you disrobe. Celine has already started also. She's like undoing her halter top. If you wish any of your garments to be thoroughly cleaned while you soak, place them in the cubbies to the left.
I
And
pull my shirt and I finally catch that fucking thing. And I'm like,
Do you? Do you though?
I rolled
As
a
you
one
take-
and waited this long.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
This would literally be the only time he would have a reason to see it.
That's fair.
He just shakes his head and finishes folding his shit up, and then
so there's a little naked goblin guy in the
gonna be
pool.
Bitch. To go.
A human woman, also dressed in the white robes, steps into the room and silently hands Dara a heart-shaped gem about 4 inches across, light reddish color. And Dara hands this in turn to Velwyn, and she leans in and says quietly, "We ask that if you do get into the pool, take this gem into the water with you. It will keep the water from getting too cold." And for our Woodbourne guest, and another white robed woman comes into the room, and she's pushing a like 2-3 foot wide shallow bucket, like maybe a foot. It's on a flat, glowing white disc that's hovering 3 feet off the ground. And the bucket looks like it's got dirt in it. And the woman kind of pushes it off to one side of the pool and then gently pushes it down to the ground, and the glowing disc vanishes. And Dara continues, says, "A sampling of the finest soils in Sildaria." And Divok looks over at you guys and goes, "Oh!" And Dara says, "I'll be back to retrieve you in 90 minutes. Enjoy." And all the white-robed women leave the room and the doors close behind you. And now Celine is completely naked. She's tossed her backpack on a hook. Her clothes are in a cubby. Or in a basket. She tosses the basket in a cubby. She strides around the pool and lowers herself into it. And she goes, "Ooh, it's warm. That's nice." And Divok takes off his pants and his shirt, but he's just a tree. He doesn't, there's nothing to look at. And he steps into the bucket, and you can see his toes like grab into the soil, and he goes, "Oh, hey, I like that."
Velen will
Leaf, you
also
can see,
strip.
is like struggling to get off his chainmail armor that he has on. Like he really wants to get in the pool.
I'm gonna help him out just a little bit. Give him
Okay.
give him the assist. And
And
then Velvin,
Reyna's also getting off her. She's like unstrapping her chainmail armor.
if she also needs help, we're
No,
helping.
she's fine.
But I will also strip and go to get in the pool with a towel, like a fucking modest motherfucker.
Look, you do whatever it is the fuck you're gonna do. You already fucked up my shirt. You know, we
I'm
ain't
gonna
talking
go
about
sit.
that right now.
I'm gonna go sit
enjoying.
right next to Lenny. And as you know, we get in and we're acclimating to the heat for just a little bit. I'm then going to take the gem that they gave me and place it on the edge of the hot spring and just let go of it for a second.
The water in a 5-foot radius around you instantly starts noticeably cooling. Not like it's not like instantly frozen, but it just starts dropping in temperature, dropping. At this point, Leaf has finally gotten naked, and he comes and he cannonballs into the center of the pool. The big splash over everyone. Reyna calmly walks up, completely naked. She's her muscle definition. She's got abs that won't end.
Hey, can you crack a walnut with those? Right, get in.
She just kind of looks at you weirdly and silently steps into the pool.
Lenny is 3 sheets to the wind at this point.
Was that a pickup line? What?
Hey, Velwyn, come here, man. You're like you're like a best brother, man. You're like a
You're
best
gonna
bro.
touch me right now?
Hold on. And he's kind of waving.
Yeah, I'll get closer to you.
Okay, Lenny, it's getting cold.
First of all, you're fucking cold, all right? You make me sick. You should stop doing that. However,
it's not a choice.
I'm going to roll with this Barnabas thing because maybe people just don't need to know who the hell I am, you know?
So yeah. Celine calls out, Lenny, put the gem back in the water.
I'll grab the
Velwyn, sorry. Velwyn, put the gem back in the water.
Yeah, I'll grab
it's getting cold over here even. And she's like sitting on the opposite side of the pool.
We'll grab the gem.
You're lucky this is a family rated show. Anyways, I just wanted to say, you know,
the Patreon for the
check the Patreon for After Dark. I don't even know what I was gonna say, Velwyn, but you know, cheers and here's to a good day here at the spa.
Yeah, cheers to that, says Devok, and everyone's like, yeah, all right. Celine turns to.
So we have 90 minutes here, right?
Yeah.
Let me know
when about short rest.
30 minutes have passed. I won't be taking a short rest. I need to know when 30 minutes have passed.
Oh, okay. So at some point, here's my daughter, everyone.
Hello, daughter.
She threw a napkin at me. And a little plush sea slug that's super adorable.
Adorable.
At one point, Celine looks across to Leaf and goes, so, you were hitting on Dulcea pretty hard back there this morning. And Leaf goes, oh, yeah, you know, she's just so beautiful. And Celine starts making her way across the pool towards him. And she goes, you've known me for months, though, Leaf. Why haven't you asked me on a date? Don't you think I'm beautiful? And Leaf goes like full deer in the headlights and just starts stammering. Yes, you're very beautiful. I just, that is to say, and Celine gets up to him and just splashes him in the face and just lets out a huge laugh and goes, relax. Oh man, the look on your face. That was great. And she just sits next to him under the water. And Devok lets out a big laugh. He goes, she got you good, man. And Leaf kind of like, Leaf blushes bright red and just kind of sinks down. So that he's like mostly under the water, embarrassed.
Don't bully the poor boy too much.
Oh, he's just a kid.
Precisely.
I'm just gonna...
But it's all good.
How How old are you?
You know, I'm fucking old enough to know better and still too young to care. Okay.
Is there?
And
Is that? Is that?
Devok's gonna. How old are you, Velwyn? I can never tell with humans.
Well, I'm still on the younger side.
Like 4 or 5.
Legal.
Like
but
I said, I
young.
can't tell. I'm not good at this.
Legal but young.
We'll say 30 minutes have passed unless anyone has any urgent business.
I believe I'm starting to overheat. I think I'll take my leave first. And
All right.
You all enjoy.
We got another
enjoy
hour.
this. Yeah. And I'll go back and I'll get changed, and I will head out. I'm about to have a very busy and fast hour. It's going to be nonstop sprinting.
Okay. Let's hear it.
So what I would like to do, we have established that there are town criers, right?
Yes.
I would like to run around town and hit as many town criers and taverns as I possibly can. The town criers, I would like to regale them with the tale of our battle and how Barnabas.
They've all heard of it.
Yes, but not from somebody that was present in the fight, right? So I will regale them with the feats of Barnabas and how he, greatly led the team to victory, and everybody else was kind of like supporting Barnabas, and Barnabas was like the real hero. And I will describe Barnabas as Lenny, right? When I head to the taverns, I will find whoever is performing, if they have a performer for that night, and I will pay them to sing a song about Barnabas that describes his features as Lenny at each of the taverns that I hit.
There's a couple of taverns that have performers who are slated for later tonight. Keep in mind, it's only probably about 10 o'clock right now.
Awesome. Perfect. And
In the
if
morning.
I possibly can, I would like to beat the party back to our tavern by 7 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Do you want to head back to the bathhouse
Yes,
and continue?
because I not the bathhouse. I need to head back to our inn that we're staying at, because I think there was like a tap room at the bottom, right?
There's a bar area and a kitchen.
Yeah.
So there's like kegs.
Is there a performer there?
Well, Jack was gonna perform there, but I don't know if he's going to tonight. Because he had to go off mysteriously.
Okay. If I knew Jack was going to perform, then eventually I will head back to the bathhouse and await everybody after running around if I can make it. After getting all the town criers up in a fucking tizzy.
Okay, you can do that.
Would you like a persuasion check or anything to see
go ahead and make a
can
persuasion check.
convince the town?
See if you've. What'd you roll?
It's a nat 20 for a 26.
26. All right, yeah. People. They want to help you. They like you.
Yeah.
So they will spread the news.
I'm a likable guy. Okay, yeah, I'll head back to the bathhouse. How's their last hour look?
Lasted.
Anything interesting happened?
I probably tried to hit on everybody.
Everybody?
Everybody.
All right. They just kind of like brush you off.
Poor Barnabas.
Raina makes like a bicep curl and holds up her fingers to measure it, and then holds that up next to your head. And it's, pretty similar.
Look, we can discuss that later. If you're curious,
When you get back into the building, Belwyn, Dara will escort you back into the Glade pool.
Thank you.
Okay. And then just a few minutes later, she'll come back to collect you. There's a knock at the door, and you hear Dara on the other side of it say, "I'm sad to say that your soak time has come to an end. I've come to collect you. and she steps in, and she's carrying a stack of neatly folded white bathrobes, and she places them on the table next to the towels that only Velwyn ended up using. Everyone else went naked. At your earliest convenience, please towel yourselves dry and make your way into the hallway and to the door on your right. Please leave your clothes and personal effects in this room. You may clothe yourselves in one of these robes if that would make you more comfortable, or not at your preference. Velwyn, please bring the gem with you if you don't mind. And she bows very slightly and backs out of the room.
Did I just like fuck off with that thing? Did I?
Yeah, you had that with you. If you hadn't have come back, there would have been some trouble.
I forgot about that. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Lenny refuses to get dressed, and he just goes.
Towel off. And Leaf kind of like grabs you and like throws the towel on you. We're supposed to dry off.
I am dry. I'm good.
As he's kind of like, I am dry, I'm gonna prestidigitate him from the bag, so he is in fact dry.
Okay. Leaf takes a robe. Celine and Reyna both just wrap a towel around their waist, go topless. Divock puts a towel on the floor and wipes his feet on it, since he didn't get in the pool, but he does have dirty feet. So you go out in the hall. There's the door on the right that you were told to go in. There's also a door on the left. But
What's this door on the left?
you want to open it?
I fucking do want to open it.
It's not locked. You open it.
Lenny, what?
It's got
You just
it's got a toilet in it and like a little sink.
I closed
do
the
you
door.
have to, do you need the amenities?
No, man, I'm good. I was just looking. Why you gotta be on my shit all the time?
Celine opens the door you're supposed to go in and heads in, and Leaf and Divock
Celine,
follow.
tell this guy to get off my ass, man. He's been all over me today.
I thought you wanted people on your ass.
Look, that is again another time, another story.
So this
Wink at
is
Celine.
this is a wide, kind of narrow, wide room with curved walls, with some scones set up high on them that give off a warm light. You can hear that gentle ambient harp music coming from somewhere, but you don't see a harpist in this room, but you can hear it. There are 7 like massage tables set up next to each other across the length of this room. And there's a person standing next to each of them. There are 2 very fit male humans in their 20s, a middle-aged female human, a female elf, a large female orc, a female halfling, and an androgynous woodborn whose head and shoulders have like very neatly trimmed and curved foliage. They're a bonsai tree, basically. It looks really cool. And all of these people are dressed in those same white robes that you've been seeing everyone wear.
Lenny wants the bonsai tree.
The most interesting feature of this room, before we get to that, is the wall directly across from you when you enter, the wide wall. It has a huge panoramic window in it. But the view is as if you're at the top of a hill looking over a beautiful forest, and there's mountains in the distance, and a beautiful sunset is happening behind them. But it's like 11:30 in the day, and in real life you're at the bottom of a hill, not at the top of a hill. So you get the feeling this is again some sort of illusion. The female elf in the room pipes up and says, "We welcome you all. Please choose your table." The halfling is trying to catch Lenny's eye since she's the right height for him. Lenny just heads straight for the
I want the tree.
bonsai. All right. Um, Reyna, I'll go to the orc. Any preference, Velvin?
I'm gonna let everybody else pick before I.
Okay. Celine will take one of the human guys. Everyone gets chosen except for the halfling.
Yeah, off to the halfling I go.
Okay. You're all told to lie down on your bellies on the tables, and so that you're kind of facing this big window. And the halfling gets a big stool out, and so that she's at the right height for to actually get down on Velwyn now, instead of being level with him.
Fair warning. It's cold.
I was told you have a gem.
I do. I haven't handed that in, right?
No, so she asked for it,
Oh yeah, I will hand it over.
and she slips it into one of her robe's pockets. The female elf takes this round disc. It's a dark colored piece of glass out of a pocket, and she says, "Is the view to your liking? We can change it if you prefer." And she makes some gestures on the disc and then flicks it at the window, and there's a green flash, and the view is suddenly you're in a forest, and it's midday, and there's a gentle rain falling in the forest, and you can hear like the white noise of the rain falling. And she looks around at all of you and goes, "Any requests?"
Rainforest is good.
Yeah, this Devok's like, "Yeah, I like this." All
I
right.
don't mind the trees.
So you all get a massage for the next hour. The middle-aged female human ends up working on Devok and doesn't give him so much of a massage as it's a series of like assisted stretches. And it's kind of funny. You can hear like his wood creaking and groaning ever so quietly as he's being manipulated. And at the end of the massage, you all gain 3 temporary hit points, if that matters at all.
Hell yeah.
And Lenny, you're a little less sauced
Sweet.
because you just spent an hour not getting
Not
sauced.
doing sauce things.
For
And also the
now-
massage kind of helps work it out of your system.
Yeah, crunch it out.
And
It's fine.
Velwyn, periodically, the halfling who's working on you is like pushing down, and she periodically reaches into her pocket, clasps the gem for a few seconds to warm her hands back up, and then works on you some more. Just every like 10, 15 seconds or so.
Gotta
she
warm it
pauses
up.
for a couple of seconds and gets back
Beautiful.
to it.
Hell yeah.
Eventually, at the end of that, you're ushered into out another door into yeah.
Question, by the way, as the massage is going on, is Celine's snake there?
No, she poofed it away.
Okay, never mind.
Okay, so yeah, you're ushered through a door to a different circular room where Dara is waiting for you. Your clothes and armor, anything that you put in those cubbies in the baskets, is clean. And there's some linen curtains hanging in this room as well. If anyone wants any privacy, although it's kind of a little late for that. And Darius says, "Thank you for joining us at the Phoenix's Ashes Bathhouse and Spa. We hope that you'll rise back into the world feeling reborn. Once you're dressed and have gathered your things, you may exit out of this door." And she exits out of that door.
Get my shit together and go.
All right. The door
Really
leads
wanted
back out
these-
into the lobby.
I really wanted
And-
to steal those tokens, but I'm not going to.
That's good. Do you want to steal a towel or anything?
Ooh.
A robe,
Yes, I
maybe?
do. What?
Robe, maybe.
Or
I kind of fuck with these robes. I could do with a fucking
the bathrobes?
Yeah, I could do
I'll
with the
steal you a
nighttime.
bathrobe.
Yeah.
Okay. You can just stuff one in your backpack.
As a
Hell yeah.
17 for sleight of hand.
That's higher than everyone's passive perception.
Net us a
Let
robe
me
or
check.
two.
Let me check Leaf again real quick. I don't think it's 17. Leaf.
Beautiful.
His passive perception is 16. No one knows you stuff a towel in your backpack or a bathrobe. Sorry.
Does Celine only summon the Sneck when we are like getting ready for combat, or is it like a walking around town thing?
It's a walking around town thing usually.
Okay.
She tends to disappear it when we go into buildings.
If she does bring it back when we go outside, I'm gonna minor illusion small rats for it to play with and chase.
Okay, yeah, she'll do that as soon as you step outside. She poofs it around her shoulders, so she's wearing it like a scarf.
Yeah, we're gonna
And
give
then-
the illusionary or the animated snake that does not need exercise some exercise.
All right, so it goes running around like the mice are going around you guys'
You're not
ankles,
right.
and the snake's going around you guys' ankles.
It still
And
has
Celine
fun.
goes, "Well, I'm hungry. Let's have some lunch. We've got free lunch."
Yes,
I like food.
food would be good. Hey, do we hear anything
And-
weird as we go to get food?
No, actually,
What a
you don't hear any
shame.
of the town criers.
What a tragedy.
So to the right of this building is a smaller one-story building. It's mostly floor-to-ceiling glass windows, and there's a sign on a post out front that says "Perfectly Pickled" with a picture of a pickle on it. And that's what Clancy said the restaurant was called that he owns.
Yeah, let's get in a pickle.
So you head on in, you show the tokens to the concierge.
Yeah.
He takes them, and you're immediately seated at a big round table, enough for let's see, how many people? There's 7 people, right? Or 6
Yeah,
people.
we
Jack's
got
not
a
here.
few because Jack's not
There's
here.
6 people, so it's a table enough for 6 people. You're asked if anyone has any food restrictions or allergies. Nope, no one seems to have any.
Oh, I'm wide open. Let's do this.
So
Worth
yeah.
noting, that lady kept the gym, right? She did not give it back to me.
your halfling masseuse kept the gem when you guys
Okay,
left.
cool.
Yes.
Cool.
So you're served a lunch that's roasted fish with kind of a creamy, lemony, buttery sauce, like hollandaise kind of. And there's roasted vegetables and potatoes. It's all seasoned with sea salt and herbs, and it's really good.
Sounds amazing.
Hell yeah.
Reyna eats it in about 30 seconds, while the rest of you take a normal amount of
Wow.
time to eat. She's a big girl. She actually raises her hand to the waitress, and when the waitress comes over, she leans over and whispers to the waitress, and the waitress disappears for a while and then comes back with another serving of it, which she again eats in about 30 seconds.
Seems about right. Hell yeah. This was good.
Love it.
All right.
This is exactly what I needed. Like get that feeling going again, get everything all right with the world. It's great.
What's the energy like in here?
It's very low key. It's not a raucous place. This is like a nice sit down restaurant
Awesome. Gotcha.
where you order off of menus and waiters and waitresses come. As you're getting up to leave, the concierge comes up to you, just a regular like 30-year-old male human, indistinct, and goes, "Well, it was an honor to have the heroes of Hero Square join us for lunch today. Special thanks to you, Barnabas, the leader of them. Please enjoy the rest
fellow,
of your
the
day."
name's Lenny. I don't know where the hell you're getting this Barnabas stuff.
Oh, that's what the town crier said. He described you to a T.
Really?
But thank you again for joining us.
Velwyn's looking off to the side. Just
Velwyn, Celine walks up next to you and elbows you in the ribs like hard. You're
What a
actually
dick. What a dick.
yeah. She rolled a 19 for her attack roll. You take 0 points of damage, but that'll bruise.
Yeah. Deserve that.
And she kind of like waggles her finger at you as she exits. So real quick, it's about 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the afternoon at this point, I'd say. If you want to get back to the Fish Pig Inn by 7, you'll need to catch a 6:30 ferry. So you have 4.5 hours to do whatever you want. Divok turns to you guys and goes, "Well, I wanna buy a lute. I play the lute. We had them back in the islands, except ours were kind of small. We called them luteleles. But I'm sure they have something like this around here, so I'm going to wander off to see if I can find a music shop."
I think I may join you. I imagine artistry supplies would be in the same place. I'm gonna look.
Oh,
for
that's
some.
probably true.
Yeah.
Leaf says he has to go check in at the Tempest Temple, which is off by the waterfront. Celine wants to go check out the Magic Mall.
Oh, that's awesome.
Lenny's
Raina-
looking for a
Sounds dope.
place to work on his
Raina
poison.
just goes. Raina just says she's going to go off by herself for a while. She'll meet you all back at the ferry dock at 6:30, and she heads off to the east. The ocean's to the west. She heads off the opposite direction. Sorry, Lenny.
I'm gonna find a place to work on my paralyzation poison.
Oh, what kind of place?
Somewhere where I can brew. So maybe I try to get into the back of a tea shop, or somebody's got a fire out back of their cart, and I could get my little set of tinkering tools and shit out and just start messing around with stuff.
Yeah, there's if you go back to the square you were in, there was a meat and veggie skewer place that had an open flame kind of behind.
I'm
their
just
cart.
gonna walk up back there like I know what I'm doing, and I'm just gonna set my tray of stuff out, and I'm gonna start putting it all together.
The guy, it's a dwarf running the place, and he looks at you and goes, "Help you with something?"
Yeah, but I just need to borrow your fire here for just a little bit. I'll be out of your way. No
Hey,
worries. Nothing to worry about.
Are you Barnabas?
I see that's the fucking part.
He just stops.
Yeah,
He
he has.
looks at
You still have the name tag on.
Yep, that'd because my asshole friend. My name's Lenny. Okay, Lenny.
Hey, listen, I heard that-
Lenny.
I heard that Barnabas led the group that killed that Raudar in South Hildenea, so you're free to use my fire all you want. Thanks for your service.
No, but I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna just shake
you
my
have-
head and work.
Do you have proficiency in the poisoner's kit or whatever it's called?
Yeah, I believe so. Let me go.
This was a successful misinformation campaign. This has gone
It
very
was.
well.
Fucker. Let's see. I could have swore I took that. Well, it doesn't say that I do, but
We'll say you do.
Yeah.
Just
I will.
'cause
I will
that's
fix.
fun.
I will fix that. Okay. What is that? That's Dex plus proficiency bonus, right?
Yep.
All right. Hey, hot damn, that ain't so bad. 18. You know,
Oh yeah.
horrible.
That's all you need. So you've got a paralyzing poison. If you stab somebody with that poison and they fail their Constitution saving throw, they will be poisoned for 1 minute.
Sweet.
With
Exactly what I
a
wanted.
resave at the beginning of their turn every turn, of course.
Got it. Okay. Love it. I will pack my shit, thank the dwarf, and
that takes pretty much the whole time to do that.
That's fine. Yeah,
It's a
that's a
complicated
very complicated process.
Velwyn and Devok, you ask around and you find kind of a quirky little commercial neighborhood a few blocks to the east, that has like there's a music shop and like an art supply shop. So Devok gets his loot.
Yeah, I'm looking for painting supplies, specifically to paint the weirdness. I feel like it's only fair to paint weirdness with weird.
Sure. One sec.
Such a shit disturber tonight you are.
So everything you'd need would come to 10 gold.
I can make that happen. That'll work. Thank you.
So now you have a painter's supplies in your inventory.
Yeah. Hopefully some weird painting supplies.
Only the weirdest.
Some odd colors of paint.
Good enough.
There's one that has a subtle glow to it.
I think after I finish, if there's time left, I'll go see what Celine was up to. But otherwise,
Oh, you want to try to
that's it.
find the magic mall?
Yeah,
Sure.
just to see what's going on. I'm not looking for anything specific.
So you find the magic mall as Celine is coming out of it, and she's kind of like shaking her head and goes, "I don't have enough money to buy anything in there.
Oh, is it bad?
It's expensive stuff, but it's nice stuff. I could afford a potion of healing. That's really about it. I was actually looking that Clancy Castle had that cool magic coin purse. 150 gold though. I only have 80, I think. So let me look up how much money she has.
It should be like 60 or 70.
60 plus so plus the 20 she got for the skull, so it'd be 80 now. But they had spell scrolls, they had weapons, armor, potions, rings, wands, staves, and rods. Everything in there.
It is the magic shop.
Yes.
Understood. I believe
If you want to
it's
poke your head in, you can
Yeah.
take a look around.
what's there, because I think we're getting close to time. What's
We're
in
getting
there?
pretty close to time. So it's not just one. It's a big building, very rectangular, made again entirely out of that glittering granite. Bricks of it. And it's divided up into several rooms on the inside with a hallway connecting them all. And each room has its own specialty. There's the scroll room, there's the potion room, there's the jewelry room, mostly rings.
Damn.
There's wand, staves, and rods, and there's weapons and armor. So there's a bunch of different shops. They're all very small. They only have like 2 or 3 things, and they range from like probably the cheapest thing in there would be like 400 gold, except for the potion shop is pretty cheap. And the scrolls shop, there's a couple of cantrip scrolls that are like 50 gold.
Gotcha. Cool.
And then there are things that are 10,000 gold and up in some of the places.
Right.
Fair. Very fair.
Let's head back.
All right. If you want to head back to town,
Yeah, nearly 7 o'clock.
Time for the
We
meeting.
gotta catch the ferry. So we
Yeah.
go.
Ferry back.
Then we'll be there.
all right.
DM, I would like to retcon something small if
Oh.
I could.
Sure.
Could I have possibly pickpocketed just one of those Phoenix Ash all day spa tokens? Could I attempt that retroactively? Just one token?
Um, you can try, yes.
Okay.
I'm not even going to have you roll for it.
Okay.
May I explain why?
May I explain why?
You may. Absolutely.
So you successfully slip one of the tokens back into your possession. Later in the day, when you're looking into your bag to see, all the tokens and money you have, there's 50 gold missing, and there's a paper receipt that says 1 bathhouse/spa token.
Get fucked.
Cool.
They had
Lenny's
an enchantment on their door. So if
Lenny's
Velen
broke
had
as
not
fuck.
brought the gem back, he would have been charged for it as well.
I would be beyond. I'd be in debt.
You would be in debt, yes.
So on the boat, I'm gonna slip that token into the boat driver's pocket.
It's not Oakvor. It's a different guy.
Oh, well, still. Let grace beget grace. Here you go.
All right. I'll let you do that.
Cool.
Broke ass motherfucker.
I am broke as fuck, and I'm only level 2. Just wait.
You
It's
also
only
have
gonna
2
get
names.
crazy.
Like,
Which is perfect for a fucking rogue, even if he hates it.
I know. It's beautiful.
And the
Sorry, DM. I totally derailed you right there.
No, that's fine. I actually had a plan for that in case somebody wanted to steal something. So we'll say you make it back to the Fish Big Inn without incident.
I'm gonna change into my robe.
You go up to the room and change into your robe, and you come down wearing just a bathrobe.
Yeah.
You get some looks, but this is the place where the weirdness is common, so it's not, whatever. To each his own, as long as nothing's hanging out. Dulce is working again. Seems real happy to see you guys. She says that Clancy's back in the corner there at the big table, and you look, and Clancy's sitting there with his gnome assistant.
What's her?
Sorry?
How do you say her name again? Dulcea?
Dulcea or Dulcea, depending on who's saying it.
Gotcha.
Let me scroll down here. What is her name? Brenna. That's the name of Clancy's gnome assistant. And also sitting at the table is Jack, who looks... It's hard to read Jack. It's really hard to read Jack. But you get the sense that he's been through something. So you all sit down at the table with him, and he says, I appreciate you all meeting with me. You've seen how a lot of the buildings in this city are made from these glittery stones, and he takes one out and plunks it down in the center of the table. I import these from the town of Stonefort to the east. It's the only place we know of where this form of granite exists. Well, my latest shipment from Stonefort was supposed to arrive here in Hildenea almost a week ago. There's been no sign of it. Other people have come and gone from Stonefort since. They haven't seen any sign of the shipment. 2 wagons full of these bricks. But more importantly, the drivers and guards that work for me, my people, missing. I was going to subcontract some members of the town's guard here to accompany me on a search party, take the road to Stonefort, see if we can find out what happened to my missing people. But after today, with 2 Raudar attacks within minutes of each other, the mayor informed me that she can't spare any town's guards. That means I just so happen to have some job openings. Now, there's no telling what we might run into out in the Skogurin forest, but you lot certainly seem like you can handle yourselves in a crisis. I'll pay 100 gold each to be security for the 7-day trip to Stonefort. $10 for each 10 gold for each day past 7, if for some reason it takes longer, plus hazard pay, of course, if we run into any trouble out there. Take some time, talk it over. I'll need an answer by the end of dinner, though, in case I have to make more contingency plans.
I think this is
And
a really good deal, Velwyn.
He and Brenna stand up from the table and head off to the bar area. And Celine leans in and goes, I was gonna book a trip to Stonefort anyway. That's where the original Yonti colony that I'm from is from the inland fjords, which if you look at the map behind me here, Stonefort is this right here, and the inland fjords are right there, and we're over here in Hildenea's right here. So
Gotcha.
It's a straight shot. It's 170 miles from here along the Skoger River to Stonefort, and then it's about another 50 miles up to the fjords where Celine's going. So I don't know about the rest of you. I'm going to take this job because that's where I was going to head anyway.
You know I like money.
The rest of the people.
D-Buck's like, all right, I'm in if you guys are in.
Hell yeah, let's do this.
Well, I believe this counts as a vote.
Leaf is looking kind of concerned. Lenny, you know this. Leaf wants to know what happened to his missing father, who disappeared without a trace 6 years ago. He leans in and goes, I talked to the Tempest Temple about my dad.
Yeah. And?
He, before he disappeared, he said he had to go east. Stonefort's to the east.
We could try it.
I don't know why he would go east. Tempest clerics do not stray far from the shores. 170 miles is a long way inland.
Maybe he was, like, I don't know. Maybe there's something he never told you. I don't know.
He didn't tell
regardless,
anyone.
We have to go east to find out.
All right, I guess I'm in. Besides, someone needs to heal you guys up when you get knocked down.
Yeah, please.
So true. So true. You're the yes.
Well, I think it sounds like we're in.
All right. Jackal just kind of silently nod, and Reyna crosses her arms and nods as well. And that's where we'll end tonight's episode for everyone, because it's just after 9 o'clock.
Yeah, we
Yay.
did it. We did it.
the thing.
Do we want to do
Yay.
outros?
Are we outroing or?
Outro yourselves.
Hi, I'm Barnabas. I play a fake goblin named Lenny, or so somebody might think. And I'm making
Lenny.
poisons, and it's going to be a really interesting time on this little 7-day journey because I have some shenanigans planned.
I have been Dakota Orishiro. I'm playing Velwyn, who is far more chaotic than intended, but we're here.
Yeah,
We're
that's
here.
fun. He is the prank master.
We'll see.
And I have been Chris, your Donjon master for this evening. And thank you all, and welcome to the Weirdness. And we'll see you
Welcome
next
to
time.
the Weirdness. Everyone, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another Vibe Tribe production. What's gonna happen next time? Well, you're gonna have to tune in to find out. But until then, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, make sure that you keep the good times rolling. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.